Hey, welcome to Garden Tours Made Easy. I'm Sherry, if you don't already know me. If you're new here, thanks for joining us and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So today we're going to put together the last tower. So I got everything kind of set up. I'm going to make this one super easy and flawless so you can actually see. And you can see behind me that this is just a spare room that I have in my basement that I use for company. And the towers, I'm just building them here, but they're going to get wheeled into the other room where they'll all live together. So let's get going. So remember how I talked about one of the a la carte things that is on the list. If you go into my bio, you're going to see a little link next to Move Me in the Middle link. And that is a Google Doc of everything that you need. And they're all live links. I guess I'm not able to do that yet because the channel is so young. So the more people that subscribe and the older the channel gets and the more content that I can place, you'll be able to just scroll down and click. But for right now, we got to kind of do a workaround. So one of the products that we talked about through the garden tower is this. This is an industrial dolly. Okay, so when you put these towers together with the 20 gallons of water, they're heavy. And then you put the lights on top. So when you need to move them around or then go find your water source to fill them up every couple months, you're not going to want to slide them across the floor. So this is a must. Do not skip it. You will regret it and so will your back. So the first thing first is I'm going to unload everything that's in the bucket, which is the pump. This is the shower pump. This is the fish tank pump that goes into the tank. So we're just going to put these aside. Okay. Then in here, you have this cover. Now, most people think it's just a stupid cover. It's not. And I'm going to do a video on algae. And this cover will save your water and save your plants. If you do not put this on your base and keep it on, you're going to have problems. And I watched a few people struggle, but in a video that I'm going to do very soon, I'm going to teach you how to get algae off your rock wall. It's a simple little trick and it worked overnight. This is the shower cap that goes on the very top. So first things first, you want to take your tub right here. Oh, look at that little nut. And secure it onto the dolly. Okay, so we'll put the hardware over here. Okay. In this green bag, you've got washers. I think they're called wing nuts and bolts. You're going to have extra, so don't panic. So first things first. I've had to unbox these and get them all set up and made a few little changes and actually just did the harvesting of the chestnut mushrooms, and I have company coming at 3. So as you can see, this can fit into your everyday life, even with 6 towers. All right, so this is your little pump. It's just like a little fish tank. The first thing I always do is there's a, let me just get up nice and close, you can see it. There's a little screw, little twisty thing, and it's got arrows. So one's a plus and one's a minus. You want to make sure that it's all the way on the plus because this is going to give max water. All of my towers have extensions. What does that mean? So they're either a baby green extension or it's another set of another layering at the very top. So this one we're going to do just doesn't have the baby greens, but it has another extension of putting, I think it's either 4 or 5 on it. But it's important to keep it on the high because you need that water to pump all the way to the top. If you don't have that pressure, then you're not going to get enough water. And the ones on the very, very bottom, they will suffer. I did experience that once and I adjusted it. The other thing too is when you're building this, you want to make sure that it's level because water it's going to find, just like if you had a leak in your house, it's going to find its way down to the easiest route. So if this is leaning like this, then your water is going to go to one side. And that means the plants on the opposite side are not going to get the water and they're not going to get the nutrients. So it's really important to just eyeball it. You don't have to get a level out. Again, we are not scientists. We are not contractors. We are gardeners. Okay. And we're doing it in a special way that we're doing in our house for our own food safety and security and growing food that's free of what? Pesticides, herbicides, and any chemicals that are going to harm us. So, okay, this is together. Now the next step is to attach it to the top. That can be a little tricky, so bear with me. I'll hopefully not drop any F-bombs. Okay, so the first one is fixed, as you can see. So I'm going to turn it sideways so you can kind of see. All right, and I have to be on the floor for this, so hopefully you can still, yes, you can still see me. Okay, so with one hand you want to twist, and with the other hand, can you see this? Just hold it, because if you don't twist, and I'm a righty, so this is hard, twist it as it's twisting, it's not going to screw in very easy. It's only taken me 6 hours to figure that one out. And then once you have it, that it's insecure, just make sure that it looks like it's straight. It is. And then I'm a righty, so I got to switch and just make sure that it's nice and tight. So this is going to go here in a minute. The next step is I need the bolts. Is that gonna? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so bear with me. I got to go find those tall, yes, screws. I had to go in the other room and make sure that I'm putting the right support rods into the in the bottom, and they fit into the bottom of this. You can see there's 2 little holes right here and here, and the tall ones go in there, and then the halo goes around, which is kind of like the trellis for things that are viney, beans, squash, even tomatoes. So I'm gonna actually put that on later, because I just want to see how much room I have in there before I put that on, because it does take up a little more space in air versus the bottom of this. Okay, so let's attach these. And again, I've done this a couple different ways, and what I have found is I've watched a few people on different channels actually reach their hand in the bucket. I find, honestly, just get on the ground, and you want to go through the top, and you want to, so these little containers, the fixed, this guy, the fixed one, there's letters on the inside, and I'm sure if you've watched other videos, you've seen it. So you just want to make sure you get it right, because otherwise you have to start all over. And trust me, I've had to do that. So I've got it into the A. The A. Put the washer on first, and then lean it. Okay, so I'm just kind of leaning it. I don't know if you guys can see me. It's kind of hard with the camera, but I'm just going to talk you through it. So I've got it into the A slot. I've got the washer on the back side, and I'm just tightening the wing nut. And again, you know, just do your best. Okay, so now I'm just going to spin this, and I'm doing the second rod now. And the wing nut, there's a nut on the bottom of this. Make sure this goes through the top. And the reason is, oh my God, I can't see it. There we go. Is that's what holds it, like from the inside. So, okay, so washer again. Wing nut. Pop that little baby on there. This is the hardest part, to be honest. Well, the lights could be a little complicated, but that's like a part 2. Okay, tight. All right, so the other thing you want to do, see how easy that is to spin around with the dolly? Just saying. All right, so there's a little ridge here, and you want to pick this up. Again, nothing of this stuff is really heavy. And throw your little fish tank thing in there. Straighten out your cord. Slide it on. Now make sure that your cord sits in that space. All right, I'm going to have to go in there and tighten this one. See how it just kind of untightened a little bit. All right, so my hand is on the inside. See how difficult that is? Okay. It's really important to make sure these are on really tight. I can't stress that enough. This is what supports all of these different pots. Okay, so here we are. Cord. And the inside, what I like to do, I like to reach in, and there are some suction cups that you can put on the bottom, but to be honest, I don't want to do that, because if I have to adjust the water for any reason, it's just stuck. So what I like to do is just pull the cord, and I like the pump to be on the bottom, but I want to see it. And the reason for this, okay, peeps, is you're not going to change the water very often, if it, at all. Okay, one tip that I was given through a video is you fill this up. It's 20 gallons, and it's really going to take about 2 months for it to reach almost bottom. So what I would say is when the water gets to the point where the pump, you can see it, almost see it, that's when you fill it up. If you start intermittently filling this, okay, you're going to mess with the nutrients, and then your recipe is going to be all off. So my system, and you're going to hear me talk about my system a lot, is set it and forget it. Okay, it's really important. And then your system becomes 3 to 5 times a day, 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, it's really that simple, people. It's, don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. If you run into a problem, you reach out to me, or you reach out to one of these other channels. If they don't respond, then reach out to me, because I'm really going to make a point to communicate with my community, because I really want people to be successful. Our food industry is in trouble, and who knows when they're going to fix it. But you can be your own advocate. You can. And by doing this, whether you get a flex or you get a home tower and just start small, or maybe you get the smaller version of the boom room and start growing some mushrooms just for fun, and then you actually, no pun intended, but you grow into it. So, okay, so we have this and we have this. I can see my pump. This looks really, really good. So, okay, off my knees. And now basically what we're going to do is, this is set on A. So now the next one is B. Okay, so look inside. I put my finger to B and B because it's so light, and then I line it up. And I'm short. I'm 5'4". And you slide it down. And then you click it. You have to make sure that it clicks. Otherwise, you're going to have maybe potential water issues. And then when you get to the top, you have to fasten. And if they're not all together and clicked, then you're not going to have enough room. So I'm going to save you the trouble. Click it. So that was B. So let's now do A. All right. A and A. So see my fingers? Line it up. Slide it down. Check all the areas. That was A. Let's go back to B. Double check. I'm a checker. I'm a double, triple checker. Type A. All right, B and B. Slide it down. Push down to A. A and A. Fingers. Okay. And that was A, right? Checking again. B. When I bought these last 3 kits, I did the, I think it's called the family friendly. It's 3 of the flex together, and it just, oh my God, it comes with so much extra stuff. It's worth it. A and A. Okay, I did that one wrong because I can't see. A and A. I don't know. I'm gonna have to move the ladder because I need to see. Okay, I'm back with a ladder. All right. So where do we live? This is B. B and B. Much easier with a ladder. So it's in. So now this is when you need the extension rods. Like that. So notice on the bottom that there are these, it's like some type of a, I don't know what to call them, hacks, nuts or something, but they're on the bottom. These guys screw in. And so what I like to do is reach in from above with your 2 fingers and hold the long one. There shouldn't be any spitting because that wing nut that you attach on the bottom should be very tight. And if it's not, you might have issues. But I know you did it correctly because most gardeners are very smart and we think outside the box. Okay. I'm a writing. There we go. Righty tighty. Okay. That looks pretty even to me. So we have one more. So there's one that's fixed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we add the last one. And that was a B. So let's put on A. Oh, God, I wish they were darker. There we go. A. Come on. All right. Then you attached, I guess they call this the shower cap. And this has holes. There's no letters, so you just kind of line it up to the bigger holes. And there and there. Okay. Now, come back over here. And I don't put the wing nuts on this one. I just put the screw things, wing screws, whatever they're called. And I press down and I just screw them on. But this is where the ladder is a must. I can't stress that enough. Now, whether your towers are inside or outside, it's obviously dependent on where you live and what you're going to be doing. Most of my towers right now, because we're in the midst of winter, are inside. But in the spring, they're probably going to go, some of them outside. So you have 2 choices. Attach the light here, which I'm going to do. But notice that my ceiling is right here. So I need to move it and then move you so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. If you are going outside, you're going to need the top. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It's just a round cover. Must be in the other room. Okay. Anyway, so it's a round cover that just sits on top. Okay. This is a must. Don't think that this is extra storage space for putting the rock wall, because inevitably you're going to lose a lot of water splashing out the top. Okay. You don't think that you will, but you will. You have to cap it unless you're putting a light on it. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I need the ladder, so I guess I'm going to go. Okay. Lights. I'm going to do it from a distance, and I'm just going to hold it. These are thick wire metal octopus, and you just bend it. You can't break it. Okay, but it's important because your ceilings aren't, unless you live in some type of loft, you just want to bend them. I'll swivel this. And you're going to be moving these all over the place. They're never going to be, you're always going to be twisting it because someone's going to need a little more light, less light. Like the squash plant I've got going, I'm making sure that there's plenty of light, because why? It's a flowering vegetable and it just needs a little more TLC and love right now. So we're going to give it that. Okay. So another tip that is really important when you're putting the lights on. Don't do what I did, because remember, all your electricity should be on one side. So one time when I built a tower early on, I had the light cord going this way and the tank cord going that way. You need to be able to attach it into a wall or a strip unit. So make sure that you plugs line up. This isn't heavy, but it's awkward when you're on the ladder. So let's see. Okay, my cord's over there. All right, so here we go. At a later date, I'll do a video where I show you how to program the light. So you just swivel this on. And before you let it set, I think, just you think that's pretty even, yeah. Okay. And this is where you just have to go, okay. Hand on top. Hi, guys. Pull these down. Okay, pull the arms down. There we go. Pull them down. Keep it in a nice, uniformed circle. Okay. These guys here on the bottom, these little right here, I want to make sure that they're facing. Okay. All right. And then just bend. And the reason why I say you want them perfectly curved is if you have to go in and out of doorways, like I do to get water, you just need to be able to get through the doors. So, I mean, it didn't take me very long. It really didn't. And notice my cords. Okay? This is so important, people. I know you think it's a really simple step and that don't worry about it, but you want the cords. As things start to grow and the jungle starts to take over, you need to make sure that, again, you hear me talk about the system. You need to make sure that your system is perfectly aligned. Okay. So just to shorten this up, because I want to do a couple other things with you. Inside are these little nubs. And on the bottom, you have a matching one. If you're like me, you're 56 and you need glasses, so I just kind of go by feel. There are two ridges, and those go down. And they click. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it just clicks. Now, the other thing that can happen is this wire gets pinched. I've had that happen. Back of the light here. And then just you can't break this. And then watch your fingers. There we go. All right. Okay, so that's just one. All right. So in essence, you just snap all four together and then your tower is built. We'll do another video filling up and doing chemicals. I think it's too much information all in one. I want to keep this short for people. If you have any questions, please don't feel free. Ask me. I have built now 6 towers, probably 6 towers total, but I've had to take a couple apart because I've made some mistakes with the size of the rods and things like that. I'm here for you. I really, really, really want to connect with the community here and help you be self-sufficient in your own interior gardening and exterior if you want to put these outside too. But I'm loving the fact that I don't need to use any pesticides. I don't need to use any herbicides or any chemicals whatsoever. They're harmful. You'll see me use some things that are natural, and I'm going to be doing a video on that very, very shortly about algae. So make sure you tune in with that because that just happened to me, and it's a very simple solution that I'll be using a product that actually got rid of 90% of it overnight, and it did not hurt my seedlings. So I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. And again, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment below, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you.